Hey everybody, this is Talkative Carl back again for another episode of Deadliest Warrior Watch Along live commentary. And the next episode will be coming up is almost as controversial as the Nazis versus Viet Cong episode in season 2. We'll be going over the episode season 3, Saddam Hussein versus Pol Pot. Now, I wasn't alive when during like Pol Pot's reign during like the early 80s. I was born in 88, so I think he was like done for by the time I was like born, or 1 years old, 2 years old at the most. And Saddam Hussein, like I'm pretty sure he was done for in the end, right towards like the getting towards like the mid 90s. So I was still pretty young, without any kind of concept of like what was going on, around the world. But I think like Saddam Hussein was probably like the first dictator I was probably like conscious of, like a very bad person. Didn't know anything like the word about terrorists was like a vocabulary in my mindset, but I knew he was like a very bad person from like images from like stuff on TV, from what I recall vaguely as a child. I was very young, but like I do recall like him being a very, very bad person. Was until I got older, like how bad he was. So this is like a very, like infamous people, like very, very cruel individuals. But they employ like certain tactics that's like, that's outlawed by Geneva Conventions and rules of engagement and all that kind of stuff. Like even towards their own people, these are very damaged individuals, mentally as well. The one thing like I want to bring out that you won't see in this episode, I don't think almost in any episode, I kind of wish they kind of included, maybe just the lack of time, but I seen like when it was airing, live, they kind of inputted during like the breaks, commercial breaks, certain behind the scenes stuff. I wish they somehow later on included, maybe it was like a DVD, maybe they included it, but there were scenes of them testing out Pol Pot and Saddam Hussein's torture methods. I think Pol Pot did electricity, as torture, and they tested it out on like a pig, and pretty much it was cooking the pig. It was running all that current, all those volts through that pig's flesh, corpse flesh, mind you. And Saddam Hussein used chemical baths as a torture method, and I forgot what kind of chemical he used, but pretty much what it did, it was pretty much like breaking down your skin on a cellular level to the point where any slight touch, it was extremely painful, and your skin was damn near liquefying to the point where you can just pretty much peel it off at the slightest touch. It was, horrific kind of stuff. So these two are like just monsters of individuals, and I'm, so glad they're long dead, because we still got a fair share of cruel or just evil individuals like Putin, to like a certain extent. He's like just I want to say he's insane, but he's just like an overall just dictator. He was like just not as overtly as like Saddam Hussein was. And then like Kim Jong Un over in North Korea. It's like those are like the only two main dictators that I'm pretty sure there might be a couple of others out there, but it's like those two are like the main ones that's always on the lips of everybody's mouths, as far as like the overall imminent threats to the world, or at least a possible imminent threats to the world. So get your time set to 0. We're going to get this booted up. And don't forget to leave a like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff to Talkative Carl on YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, Patreon. And yeah, so let's get this started. Uh, get ready to press play when I say now. And in three, two, one, now. It'd be interesting if Deadliest War ever came back. It'd be cool and interesting to actually have like a live dictator as part of like a warrior representing like Vladimir Putin, because he used to be part of the KGB back in the day, and like have him as like a named warrior up against another named warrior, maybe by Kim Jong Un or maybe Il, because I don't think Un actually had any kind of battlefield kind of experience, but I think his father did. So it's like those two would have been like an awesome kind of matchup and see like their skills between these two kind of like forces. Yeah, these two are like just overall monsters. Just from the stories like you hear of them, because like I said, like I was like either wasn't born or was like a baby at the time during that reign and then downfall. So like when I got older and like learned about these dudes in like school and stuff like that, these dudes are just like I said, just monsters of individuals. They didn't even have no qualms about killing their own people. That's just like you read about like certain horrible individuals in history, like just a thing like well, modern times of the time, uh, you would think that there's certain things that you just don't do as a person, but they're just like their mindset, they're just like warped. Yeah, we're definitely not celebrating these dudes. These dudes are just evil to the nth degree. So the reign of terror ended in 2003. So I was fairly young when he eventually killed himself. Still in like my early teens, I guess. Yeah, and both I long since died before I was even born. Yeah, this is crazy how like certain like Ted Bundy or like Saddam Hussein or Trump, just be able to, I don't know, war individuals like that can just be able to charm individuals uh, or a group of people into following them. It's just it's beyond me how that is just like the level of sociopath that it is involved in that. I spent 9 months in prison, but I was finally released. I was worried I'd be rearrested, and this time I was afraid I might be executed. Shaky personality, failed human being, and ignorant human being. Yeah, and the first who ever used nerve gas, or I think mustard gas, is the same thing on his own people, like on the battlefield. But he even end up killing some of his own people. It's just, whew, man, this dude was a piece of shit. It's just heartbreaking. And that's saying something after like having to go over that episode with like North Korea, and then the one with like Nazis and Viet Cong members. It's like, yeah, I know you shouldn't like judge a book by its cover, but you see like a grenade that small, like the impact. I mean, it's like, I'm pretty sure that maybe the shrapnel, depending on how close you are, can get you, but it's like, you don't expect it to like have a big enough boom. But I like this, like, unique perspective on assault on like it's kind of like like a castle siege almost, but with actual modern weapons. So this kind of be like the modern version of that. That's what I figure. It's like, this thing is so darn small. Like, I'm not going to have like a it's not going to provide like a big enough boom. That's just like a the type of like syrupy paste they use for the blood for these dummies. So that's why you see all the bees. 24-year rule. Jeez. And that one has a bit more a bigger radius for the blast. I love the look of the drum they have on that machine gun. You see the later episodes, they use like a different substance to make the blood for the dummies. I'm surprised they never had to deal with the bees before. He was running significantly more faster. It kind of helped slightly. Yeah, he's have a good point. 'Cause it's like the minimum amount of roll compared to the other grenade. I think they, that carving out that just the bullets carving out the torso of those dummies kind of reminds me of the North Koreans' assault guns. Oh yeah, and the drum helps. He didn't have to reload. Is why it helps. He was a little bit faster. Yeah, when in doubt, overload. As horrific as like like certain torture methods, I think like still Vlad the Impaler probably like still like the king of torture. He just didn't have certain stuff that Saddam had by comparison over the years. But I'm pretty sure if he did, he would have done the exact same doggone thing. But I think impaling people in like a forest, still like will send shivers down anyone's spine. I mean, that's like gets a lot of people's attention. If you walk down like a forest and you just start seeing corpses just being propped up for miles. Yeah, I can't even imagine like doing something like that like at 12 or 13 years old, and then like they if they lucky grow up to be into their 20s and 30s and they get like early onset PTSD. I can't even imagine, man. Yeah, it's like the whole entire neck just carved right out. Yeah, that also with that big drum and like it's just like just perfect. Honestly, you don't have to worry about reloading. You got all you need right then and there. If it's empty, you move on to the next weapon you got. It's amazing how many farming tools we turn into weapons later on in life. I think the nunchucks and the sais are the more prominent ones, or at least the more uh, well, the ones that comes to mind for a lot of people. I wonder how many of those bovine torsos and what have you that they had to cook. Well, I doubt because they have to, you know, what they use it for with all that metal and crap like that going through those all that meat. But they had to barbecue some of the unused meat that they didn't use for the test. I was like had high hopes with the cane knife, considering it's like a larger blade, and I expected more from it. But it's like, man, the combat knife is an actual weapon. So okay, we at the climax. Yeah, I mean, it's like it's the lowest. one of the lowest stats uh, I've seen on the show, and it's just the psychological health. And it's like, sometimes it's only slightly more sane by comparison to Pol Pot. Wow. Killer Instincts are actually nearly neck and neck. Just like I said, like just the weirdest way like certain guys can convince other guys to just commit horrible atrocities. This is beyond me. But then again, I'm not that crazy. He would have bulletproof glass, wouldn't he? What he said at the end was like, "This is a weapon." I think that's what he said. I have to look it up. Yeah, I mean, we've seen like from the show, like there's plenty of like underdogs that beat like significantly superior, forces. But you just never know. Sometimes the X factors can work against you, and sometimes they work for you. But you know, this is like one of those paint by numbers. Like, yeah, a superior, well-funded, uh, traditionally trained army can pretty much stomp out any guerrilla type, forces. It's just it's just the way it is. Um, I'm pretty sure if Popa had that kind of same oil mine, I'm pretty sure he'll have significantly better trained warriors. But yeah, that was Saddam Hussein versus Pol Pot. The next one for the month will be Teddy Roosevelt versus Lawrence of Arabia. That's a fun one. Don't forget to leave a like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff to Talkative Carl. Follow me in the links in the description. Let me know what you guys think of the episode. And I've seen a lot of you guys, have like a decent amount of views from all these Deadliest Warrior episodes. Please let me know what you guys think of these episodes and which one is your overall favorite or which one is your least favorite. But specifically this episode, which if you can find any aspect of this that you find like that is your favorite and least favorite, let me know. There's like a certain type of weapon that you found more interesting than the other. I'm curious to know what your thoughts are. And I will see you guys in a little bit. Peace.